Hi kids, welcome to day one of our week of math videos. So keep an eye out for the stop sign, which is going to tell you when to stop the video for the day. We have 5 days worth of lessons on this video. So today is day one. For our warm-up today, we're going to practice some skip counting. So here I have the number 5, which means we're going to skip count by 5. So we're going to start with the number 5, and we're going to skip 5 numbers every time, and we're going to stop when we get to 55. Count with me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. What's going to come next? 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay, so that's skip counting by 5s. Now let's skip count by 10. We're going to start with the number 10. We're going to go all the way up to 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. What would come next if we kept going? 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200. Now let's skip count by 100. We're going to start at 100 and we're going to go all the way up to 1,000. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. Okay, are you all warmed up? Okay, we're going to do a little bit of review from what we talked about last week. So I'm going to show you 2 numbers over here on the whiteboard. And last week we talked about some symbols. We talked about this symbol, and this symbol. And we also met our little alligator friend. You remember what this symbol means? It means greater than. This symbol means less than. And this symbol means equals or the same as. So let's look at these 2 numbers up here. These numbers are both written in standard form. We would read or say this number as 724, and this number is 723. Let's compare those 2 numbers. Let's figure out which one is bigger and which one is smaller. So we're going to look at this number first. Is this number greater than this number, or is this number less than this number? Well, we're going to start by looking at the digit that's in the hundreds place. So this one has a 7 in the hundreds, and this one. So 700, 700, that's the same. I can't compare yet. This number has a 2 in the tens place, and this number also has a 2 in the tens place. The 2 in the tens place means 20. So it's 20, 20. That's the same, so we can't compare yet. Now let's look in the ones place. This one has a 4 in the ones place, and this one has a 3 in the ones place. Oh, they're different. So now we can compare. Is 4 greater than 3, or is 4 less than 3? If you said greater, you are correct. So we would put this symbol in between these 2 numbers. So the alligator mouth would want the bigger number. The hungry alligator eats the number that is greater. So we would read it like this. 724 is greater than 723. Okay, I'm going to show you 2 other numbers that we're going to compare now. Here's our first number, and here's our second number. Let's first look at them and see how we would read these numbers or say these numbers. This number is 803. 803. This number is 823. All right, let's compare them. Let's see if this number is greater than this number, or if this number is less than this number, or maybe they're equal. Are they the same? Let's start in the hundreds. This has 8 in the hundreds. This has 8 in the hundreds. 800, 800. Can't compare yet. This number has 0 tens, and this number has 2 tens. Oh, okay, so now it's different. So now we're ready to compare. 0 tens is 0. 2 tens are 20. So which is greater? 0 tens or 2 tens? Well, 2 is greater than 0. So the alligator is going to want to eat this number. Here he comes. He's eating it. Okay, so we would read it like this. We would start over here and we would say 803 is less than 823 because 823 is greater than 803. Very good. And that's what we worked on last week. Okay, so I am now going to build a number for you with the base 10 blocks. So we're going to put up our place values. We have ones, tens, hundreds, all the way up to thousands. I'm going to build a number for you, and I want you to see if you can figure out what the number is. Okay, let's count these blocks and see what number I built. How many blocks are here? Well, we're going to start over here in the hundreds. I have 1, 2, 3 hundreds. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 tens, or I would count them like this: 10, 20, 30, 40. And in the ones, we have 1, 2, and it's just worth 2. How would we write that number in standard form? Well, which digit would go in the hundreds place? It has 3 place values, so it's going to have 3 digits. We have 1, 2, 3 hundreds. How many tens do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. A 4 in the tens means 40, and I have 1, 2 in the ones. We would read that number as 342. And there it is, 342. Now, I'm going to change something about this number that I built. I am going to add something. I don't have the same number anymore. Something changed about it. What did I do? This is what was here. And then I put this here. I got to change this up here to match what I did down here. Well, I had said there was 3 in the hundreds, but now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. What am I going to change up here? I'm going to change this 3 to a 4 because I just added 100. I'm going to take that 100 away. Now I have 342. Now I'm going to add 100, and I have 442. Did my tens or my ones change? They didn't. Only the hundreds changed. All right. I'm going to build another number for you, and we're going to try that again. I'm going to take these away, and I'm going to build another number for you. Finding some ones blocks. Okay, here we go. So here is my new number. So let's see how many there are here. How many blocks are here? Well, I have 1 in the hundreds. This is 100, 10, 20, 30. 3 tens are 30, 100, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4. I just count these as ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ones are worth 4. How would we write that in standard form? How would I write that with digits? Well, I would have a 1 in the hundreds, a 3 in the tens, and a 4 in the ones. 134. It matches what I built. Now watch what I'm going to do. Something's going to change. What did I just add? I added another 100. So which digit needs to change up here? Do the hundreds change? Do the tens change? Or do the ones change? Here's what we had. I had 134. What do I need to change? Well, I no longer have 100. I have a 2 in the hundreds. I still have 3 tens, and I still have 4 ones. So only the hundreds need to change. Okay, kids, you are going to practice this at home now. So I'm going to show you what you're going to work on. Here is your homework. It says, come on and get as close as you can so they can really see it. You try, add 100 to the numbers. So for example, if I have the number 268 plus 100, what is it going to equal? Well, I drew the blocks. 200, 1, 2, 60 is 6 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's my 268 plus 100. So I drew in another 100. Now what is that going to equal? So now I'm going to count my blocks again. 1, 2, 3, 3 in the hundreds. My tens didn't change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I still have 6 tens, and my 8 ones are still the same. So you're going to come down and try these two. 342 plus 100. Well, I drew the 342 for you, but you're going to add 100. Same down here, 150 plus 100. There's my 100, and there's my 50. 0, 1, so there's no ones. Okay, boys and girls, give this a try, and we will see you tomorrow on day 2. Okay, it's day 2. Let's start with a warm-up. We're going to come over here to the whiteboard, and we're going to look at these chips. Let's pretend they're chips. And we're going to figure out if this is an even amount or an odd amount. Well, let's see how many we have here to begin with. Let's count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there are 11 chips here. Do you think that 11 is an even number, or is 11 an odd number? Well, one of the ways that we talked about to figure out if a number is even or odd is to make groups of 2 and to see if there are any left over. So let's try that. Let's make groups of 2 and see if we have any left over. Oh boy, I have one left over that I can't make a group of 2 with. So does that mean that 11 is even, or is 11 odd? 11 is an odd number. Okay, we talked about that a few weeks ago. All right, good warm up. Hey, I'm going to build a number for you now with our ones, tens, and hundreds. Okay, so watch as I build the number and see if you can count the blocks to figure out which number I built. Okay, here it is. Let's start with our hundreds. How many hundreds do we have? 1, 2. We have 2 hundreds. How many tens do we have? We have 2. 10, 20. And how many ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ones. So let's write that number in standard form. We have 200, 2 tens, which is 20, and 5 ones. So we would read this number or say it as 225. There's your 200, there's your 20, and here's your 5. Now, yesterday we talked about adding 100. If we added 100 to this number, we would have to change the digit in the hundreds place. It would change to 3 because I added another 100. So instead of 2 hundreds, now I have 3 hundreds. I'm going to go back to where I started now. I started with 225. Now what would happen if I took this away? What happened now? I just subtracted 100. Which digit needs to change? Do I change the hundreds digit, the tens digit, or the ones digit? I would change the hundreds digit to a 1. I started off with 200. I took 100 away, so now I only have 100. 125. Can you pause? Okay, so today we're going to talk about subtracting 100. Yesterday we talked about adding 100, and today we're going to subtract 100. So I'm going to build a new number for you. All right, let's count the number. I'm going to erase this number. We're going to write the new number. So let's start in the hundreds. How many hundreds do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need a 4 in the hundreds place. How many tens do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 tens, and we have 1, 2, 3 ones. 100, 200, 300, 400. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 1, 2, 3. 453. What do you think is going to change if I subtract 100? Here I go. I'm subtracting 1. Which digit is going to change up here? The 4, the 5, or the 3? This 4 is going to change to a 3 because now I only have 1, 2, 3 hundreds. I have 3 hundreds. I still have 5 tens. That didn't change. And I still have 3 ones. That didn't change. Okay, I'm going to build another number for you. Let's see. Count these ones as I'm building. Okay, you see those, Henry? All right, let's see what I built. How many hundreds do I have? I have 2 hundreds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 tens, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 ones. If I subtract 100, what is going to change up here? Here goes the 100. 100 subtracted. Is this going to stay the same? How about the tens? How about the ones? Did I take any tens away? No. Did I take any ones away? No. I only took from the hundreds this time. So this is now going to become a 1. So 258 minus 100 equals 158. Okay, I'm going to build you one more number and then it's going to be your turn to try. Okay. Okay, here's your new number. Let's count it. I have 1, 2, 3 in the hundreds. 100, 200, 300. I'll count my tens. 10, 20, 30, 40. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 tens. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. How do we say this number? 345. Subtract 100. Do 345 minus 100. What is that going to equal? Okay, let's take 100 away. What do I have left? Which digit's going to change? The hundreds, the tens, or the ones? Well, I took away 100, so the 3 in the hundreds place is going to change to a 2. So 345 minus 100 equals 245. Okay, now it's going to be your turn to try this. So here is your homework. It says, you try, subtract 100 from the numbers. So I gave you an example, 345 minus 100. So I drew 345, and when I subtracted 100, I crossed one out. How many are left? I have 2 hundreds, 4 tens, and 5 ones. So 345 minus 100 equals 245. And here are your two to try. 253 minus 100. I drew your 253. Then we have 442 minus 100. There's your 442. Okay, do your homework and send us a picture. And that's the end of day 2. It's day 3. Let's start with a warm-up. So I'm going to show you 2 numbers up here on the board. Think about how you say that number. Think about how you say this number. We're going to compare these 2 numbers with our greater than, less than, or equals symbols. Okay, so how do we say this number? This is the number 14. This is the number 20. Let's start by looking at the place values where they both have ones, tens, ones, tens. So we're going to need to look at the digit in the tens. This number has 1 in the tens, which means 10, and this number has a 2 in the tens. 2 tens are 20. So is 1 10 greater or less than 2 tens? Well, 1 is more than 2. 1 is less than 2. So which one is the hungry alligator going to eat? Remember, he always eats the number that is greater. So I think he's going to want to eat this one. So his mouth would open up, here he comes, to eat that bigger number. Now if we start over here, we would read it like this. 14 is less than 20. If we switch these around, we would have to change the symbol. We would have to go like this. And we would read it like this. 20 is greater than 14. Okay, we have 2 more numbers to show you. Okay, let's look at these numbers. You should notice something right away. They both have digits in the ones and the tens. Ones and the tens. So let's look at the digit in the tens. This has 3 tens, which is 30. 3 tens, which is 30. Okay, I can't tell yet which one is greater or less. Let's look at the ones. 5 ones, 5 ones. Which symbol would go between these two numbers? How would we read these numbers? We would say 35, 35. Well, they're the same. Which symbol down here means the same as? This symbol means equal. 35 is equal to 35, and that means 35 is the same as 35. Okay, one last set of numbers to compare. Think about this number. Think about this number. Okay. So let's see which place values these numbers have. Ones, tens, and hundreds. Ones, tens, and hundreds. So I'm going to look to the hundreds first. This number has 700, and this number has 600. We would read this as 725, 615, because 10 and 5 make 15. All right, so I can tell already just by looking at the hundreds which number is greater and which number is less than. I'm comparing 700 and 600. Which one is the alligator going to want to eat? I think he's going to want to eat 700 because 700 is greater than 600. Here he comes. All right, so we would read this as 725 is greater than 615. Now what if I switched these two numbers? I'd have to switch my symbol, wouldn't I? Now which way is the mouth going to go? It's going to open this way. And I would read it like this. 615 is less than 725. All right, good warm up. Okay, I am now going to build you a number with the base 10 blocks. And you're going to count the blocks to see which number I built for you. Okay. Okay. Check out the number that I built. Let's start over here. And let's count. 100, 200, 300, 400. So I have 4 hundreds. 10, 20, 30, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 tens. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ones. So how could I write that in standard form? It's going to have 3 digits. It needs a digit in the ones place, a digit in the tens place, and a digit in the hundreds place. So which digit is going to go in the hundreds place? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 hundreds. Which digit goes in the tens place? 1, 2, 3, 4, because I have 4 tens. And which digit in the ones place? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 ones. How would I read this number? I would read it as 444. 444. Now watch what I'm going to do, everybody. Pay attention because something's going to change. Watch what I do. Okay, pay attention to what was there and what I just did. Okay. Something up here needs to change to match what just happened down here with the blocks. Well, let's see. I had 4 in the hundreds. 1, 2, 3, 4. That didn't change. Did my tens change? I had 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are now 5 tens, and there's still 1, 2, 3, 4 ones. So what do I need to change up here? Well, I just added 10. So instead of 4 tens, now I'll have 5 tens. So 444 plus 10 equals 454. Okay, I'm going to build another number for you. So check out what's here. Which number did I build? Let's start in the hundreds. How many hundreds are here? 1, so that's 100. How many tens? 2 tens. So 2 tens are 20, 10, 20. So far I have 100 and 20, and the ones I have 1, 2, 3, 3 ones. So I would write that as 123. That's standard form. Now watch what I'm going to do. Watch what's going to change. Here it comes. Okay, something changed. What did I do? I added something. How much is this block worth? The value or the worth of this is 10. So I just added 10. 123 plus 10. What's going to change here? Did the hundreds change? Nope. Did the tens change? I had 2 tens. Now it looks like I have 3 tens. So is this 2 going to change? And how about my ones? 1, 2, 3. Still have the same amount of ones. So the 1 in the hundreds is going to stay the same. But now my tens are going to change. I have 1 more 10 and I still have 3 ones. So I could say 123 plus 10 equals 133. Okay, you guys are going to practice adding 10 now. Here is your